They don't really wanna hear the truth no more. Think they scared how I make them feel. And you can say anything you want about me, I ain't worried, that don't make it real. They don't really wanna hear the real no more. Think they scared how I make them mad. And you can say anything you want about me, I ain't tripping, that don't make it fat. Look, coming live from the gutter like a cold puddle, with water whipping road shuttle. Your whole huddle, Dutch burning, moving slow, I'm feeling like the minute hand. All wishes granted to me, turning in a tinted van. Been the man, never question nothing that was in the plan. See it from my third eye vision, so I understand. Poolside plotting moves like a dance team, 100 band scheme, in the dirty with my hands clean. Never been the type of they could cash straight. 5th grade, I was selling candy to my classmates. I ain't call her back, I let her think about the last date. Student of the game, and I promise you not a classmate. Problem is with these rap, they move iffy, in my mood picky. Can't let these get rude with me. God spit it known to keep my then it hit the game. Acting like I slipped in these small town fly. Never heard of these on my apex. Tip top vertices, it ain't mouths moving, but they never moving vertically. Hit a person who been practicing the perjury. Black Lord, Noble Drew, big stepping. Love them all, give a about the click repping. Small losses always taught them big lessons. Quit stressing, liberating knowledge, make a lesson. They don't really wanna hear the truth no more. Think they scared how I make them feel. And you can say anything you want about me, I ain't worried, that don't make it real. They don't really wanna hear the real no more. Think they scared how I make them mad. And you can say anything you want about me, I ain't tripping, that don't make it fat. They don't really wanna hear the truth no more. Think they scared how I make them feel. And you can say anything you want about me, I ain't worried, that don't make it real. They don't really wanna hear the real no more. Think they scared how I make them mad. And you can say anything you want about me, I ain't tripping, that don't make it fact.
What up, y'all? You know, today we was gonna do the cool review of the Robert Crimo. I guess you want to call it mass shooting. That happened while I was out of town. That's why I didn't record last weekend. But something else came across my desk earlier, maybe about an hour and a half ago, to be honest with you, right before I was getting ready to record. So I had to pivot out of that and told someone I would deal with this issue for them. So with that being said, since I didn't do the Robert Crimo thing while I was out of town, and I didn't record last week, we'll get 2 out this week. So maybe sometime around Wednesday or Thursday, when I leave the gym, come home, shower, we'll pump that one out. You know, there comes a point, again, why I named this, renamed it and rebranded it No More Negotiating. Because there comes a point in time in a relationship where it's time to check out. See, for the majority of people, we start to look at all of these old school relationships and you're envious, but you're only envious because of time served. And that's correct what I said, time served. See, there's a lot of people who stay together just because what? Hey, I put 20 years in this. Put 15 years in this. I put 30 years in this. So now as young people, we look up to those people in their 70s, late 60s, 70s, and they still married. And you say, wait, how did you do that? You guys look so happy. It's not that they happy. They're resigned to the fact that they old now and don't nobody want their ass. And he or she knows me better than anybody else. And I don't feel like going through this divorce, starting back over. So I'll settle into this life. So then they become what? Creatures of habit. They just become comfortable being roommates. Ain't no more love making. Ain't no more sex. The highlight of their lives is what? Children coming home. That'll bring the family together. Everybody can reminisce. Everybody will still look from the outside looking in and say they look so happy together, but they don't do anything together. They don't go walking. They barely go to the movies. There's no bonding time in terms of watching documentaries, watching TV shows, spending an hour or two together, just checking in on. None of those things exist anymore. But nobody knows that because what? You on the outside looking in. All you see is what? When we show up for the 4th, when we show up for Labor Day, when we show up for all these holidays, we are there to do what? Dot each other's I's, cross each other's T's. I told you I was a product of this. For almost 20 years. 5 years in, we became what? Relationship goals for everybody. Everybody our age is looking around us saying, yo, they got a family, they still working together. 10 years in, yeah, they still together. 15 years in, I wish we could be like them. They hold each other down. Look at the fun they having. Little did they know 12 years in, we ain't even sleeping in the same bed with each other anymore. Sex is maybe 2-3 times out of the year at that point. And that's only because she asking for it at that point. But nobody knows that. They only see what from the outside looking in. We put on a great face for the world. So when year 19 comes and we decide to end it, there's all this shock and nobody knows. Now for me it's what? 33, 34 at that time. I forgot the age. When you decide to check out, you're thinking what? I don't want another man in the house with my children, with my daughters. So for me, I've told you on previous episodes, that's what kept me in for so long. But at a certain point, like I told you 3 weeks ago, there must be a F them kids moment where you choose yourself. You have to. You have to. Because at some point, she's going to choose herself, exercise her options, stop negotiating with you, and she's going to check out. And you won't even know it's happening. You know it's happening, but you can't believe it's actually happening. So there's a letter earlier that comes to me and it says, I'm so sad. I think we are headed toward divorce. You don't think, you already know. But see, the problem is don't fight it. You must be comfortable being uncomfortable. You must understand every relationship has what? I've told you this how many months now? How many episodes? We at 130 episodes now. Every relationship has an expiration date. Be it because for those who are religious or spiritual, God called you home, one of you home, or be it you end it. But at some point, it will end. Nothing lasts forever. So when you maneuver like that and understand, let's just enjoy the time we have with each other and take advantage of that, you don't feel as bad when it's over. You just understand, okay, look, the way we entered this, it's no longer that. Now, you're looking for somebody else now or something else. And be okay with that for her, or be okay with that for him. To have somebody else now fill a role you can no longer fill. But that's called also being an ultimate teammate. And it's called also understanding I can no longer fill that role. And in order for me to fill the role he or she is looking to be filled, I must now compromise who I am internally to do that. Which now means I lose myself to make sure you're happy. We can't have that. So, I'm a good husband and father. I did everything right. I'm responsible, loving, engaged. Now, you're a good husband and father, but you can only really say you're a good father. She doesn't view you as a good husband. Only she can tell you whether you're a good husband or not. Because a part of being a husband is having a wife. And in order to be a good husband, that wife must be able to tell you that you're a good husband. She has to be satisfied with your performance. No different than when a woman comes and says, I'm a great wife. To who? Why do this, do this? That ain't what he's asking for, though. So that doesn't make you a good wife. That means you're doing what you think you should be doing to make him happy. You're not listening to actually what he wants you to do to make you a good wife. So now, only your children can really come and vouch. All of these labels we give ourselves, I'm a good husband, father, only my children can say I'm a good father. That's not something I can say. I can say I take care of, I can say financially I do what I'm supposed to do. Sure, I can say that. I can say I try and do a good role, a good job advising my two daughters. Sure, I can say that. But I can't say I'm a good father because they have to come behind and recognize that and give me that adulation. Same as my wife would have to come behind and say, he's a good husband. I can't say that. I did everything right. Couldn't possibly have, we wouldn't be here. But see, this is a person now, when you start seeing stuff like this, I'm a good husband and father. I did everything right. I am responsible, loving, engaged. This is to let everybody know that I am the total opposite. I have self-esteem issues. So now I need to come and boast and tell the world. It's something that's when I was telling you about the pyramids of success that my uncle would tell me about. You don't need to boast. Let everybody else do that for you. They'll let you know whether you are what you say you are. That's not something you can do. So now, because he has self-esteem issues, which he'll come in a few seconds as we go further, he'll start to tell you how he isn't actually. All of the things he said he did everything right. Because he says, I did everything right. Which means nothing is wrong. Which means we shouldn't even be here. I am responsible, loving, and engaged. But let's see. I've gained weight. Out of college and military, I was a $155. At my heaviest, 235. Now I'm 25. Now 205. But I'm also 52 now. Not 25 like I was then. And that's fine also. Because that's something I try and get men and women who I give advice to understand. And for those who need my help, which in the next couple of months as I transition into that field and this website gets up, I will start charging for those 30-minute to an hour-long sessions I'm giving out now. But at this point, I do give free consultations. In another 2 months, I won't be giving free consultations. But that's another conversation for another day. But we all get old. That's why you've heard me have a conversation about what? White women understand their sexual market value ends around 30. That's it. They tapped out. They nosediving after that. Because they understand that, they try to get married a lot quicker than black women. Black women can go to about 36, 37 before the breasts start to sag. And the ass is no longer as perky as it used to be. So now we start doing all these other tricks, which is why the BBL is becoming so popular. So as that's happening, these women understand that. That's why at the end you see them what? They start to settle. They'll say they're not settling, but they'll settle now. The guy they wouldn't give a chance to, they're now telling him you're a great guy. And any woman would be lucky to be with you. Yeah, but I've been trying to be with you for the last 10 years. Yeah, but I thought I could do better than you. I understand I can't now, so now I'll marry you. What you have to understand is, as you get older, we just don't look the same. You're not as perky. You're not as spry. Skin not as tight. That's evolution. That's a part of getting old. So, 27 years into this relationship, you shouldn't look the same. You shouldn't look drastically different. Like, you shouldn't be 100 pounds overweight, 200 pounds overweight, but, an extra 40, 50. I don't know your height, so I can't really tell you when you say 205. 205 could be cool if you 5'11", 6 feet, 5'10", 5'11", 6 feet. If you 5'1", 5'2", that's another conversation, man, because that 205 looks totally different. But also says, my wife says that no matter what else I do, she looks at me and isn't attracted to me. And because of that, all of my other qualities don't seem to matter. Let me take a sip. Man. Now, she isn't attracted to you any longer for a lot of reasons. Swag is off. Your confidence is completely gone at this point. You probably weren't the dominating figure in the relationship, period. We'll get into that topic another day also, about the actual hustle of stay-at-home mom and bringing the bacon home and men thinking you're in control when you're doing that. That's going to take too long to unpack. We ain't doing that here. But what you have to understand is when you says that no matter what else I do, she looks at me and isn't attracted to me, and because of that, all of my other qualities don't seem to matter. You're her friend now. Now, what I will tell you is, there's what I call when a woman hedges her bets. That's when she comes to you and says, I think we need to separate for a while. Now, what that means at this point is, or she wants a lengthy divorce. That way she can figure out what this is she's into. Because what that means now is she's attracted to somebody else. Now, that doesn't mean he's actually anything physical has happened just yet. But she's on the way to pursuing that and getting ready to allow for something physical to happen. Now, if that works, this is how this plays out. If that works, she's going to push forward for that relationship and she's going to move forward with the separation or the divorce and end it. When I say she's hedging her bets, now, within that year while you guys are separated, if that doesn't work and you start to move forward, what she's going to tell you is, you're the love of my life. I just needed time to really clear my head and to see, what else was out there. But now I see nobody else can do for me what you do for me, and I don't want to grow old with anybody else. Cold word for that nigga ain't want me, and I don't want to be alone. So I'm getting ready to come back in the cozy spot that I know. Now, if somebody else comes along, she'll pull it again. But at this point, I'm definitely not getting ready to be alone and blow the whole spot up. So see, that's why she hasn't. Because she's a stay-at-home mom, and you the breadwinner, she ain't going to blow the spot up. Not until she knows this is what this is. Because even if she gets alimony, even if she gets the house, she still would have to get out and possibly work to supplement the income, because she won't be getting the full income from you anymore. She'll be getting something, a lot to probably stay and still be comfortable, but she won't be able to live the life she's been accustomed to living. So before she blows all of that up, in 27 years of being comfortable, She gonna make sure this works perfectly. So, at this point, if you're not doing it for her sexually and she's no longer attracted to you, then your other qualities shouldn't matter, because now you're just in the friend zone. You just have to accept that. Which again is why I tell you, you have to learn when to stop negotiating. At this point, when she says she's no longer attracted to you, those are now grounds for I'm checking completely out. There's nothing else to negotiate with her. I know your pride is hurt. You lost her. Be it man, could have lost it to a woman. We don't know at this point. But there's no need for you to negotiate any longer once your partner tells you, I'm no longer attracted to you. Now, I've been trying to lose weight for 2 years with minimal success. At one point down to 185, but almost killing myself to get there, which means your whole world now, you're willing to suffer to make sure she's happy. And it's sad because you are the type of guy who ends up, ending it when these type of relationships end. You don't know how to function without her. She is your world. Your whole world is wrapped around making sure she's good. Which is, again, another reason why she's treating you the way she's treating you. Because she knows your world is wrapped around hers. You're not going to move until she says move. It shouldn't be like that, but that's the environment you've created. You've cultivated this. You would be what I would call, you are the epitome of what we call a simp. You have no backbone. So, as soon as I stopped killing myself, I shot back up to 205 again. And see, this is another thing I've learned. You don't want to worry about the number when you're losing weight. What you want to do is just find a routine and start to sculpt your body. That's it. What you want to do is have a lifestyle change. You never want to focus on the number, because the number can fluctuate from water weight to gas. There's a lot of reasons why you could be losing or picking up 3-4 pounds here or losing 3-4 pounds there. They want to focus on the number, focus on the routine, focus on the habit. She knows my love languages are physical touch and words of affirmation. So again, someone who is in control of your self-esteem. Hence the word self-esteem. Yet it has been about 5 years since I can remember receiving a compliment. So she checked out 5 years ago. And yet you're still negotiating. Which is why she's lost even more respect for you. If you would probably just check completely out, tell her you want a divorce, and start the process of dating all over again, she would behave much differently. At that point, though, I would also recommend to you, she's told you she's not attracted to you anymore. Don't let her double back. No matter how hard she falls on her face at this point, you have to leave. That's a woman who has disrespected you to the utmost at this point. You can never renegotiate with somebody like that. I mean, you can, it's your life, but you've read that book. There's no alternate ending to that. You would just be going back to read the book all over again and be sad all over again, because the ending would be the same. Actually, not even sure I got one then, but at that point, what does it matter? She has not said I love you except in response to my saying it in as long as I can remember. And see, this is what I'm telling you. You have to understand the signs have always been there. It's just you can feel the end coming now. Back then, you didn't feel the end coming. You know the bomb in the envelope will be slammed on the table or be hand delivered to you sooner rather than later. But that's a good thing for you. You don't see it that way, but I promise you, her leaving you, that's a good thing for you. She actually mocks my love language. She says I expect compliments about every little thing all day long. She knows that isn't it, but chooses to mock it. But you said you need physical touch and words of affirmation. This whole letter has been about you and your self-esteem. So I can believe you need those compliments about every little thing. That's what you've written so far. She reads romance novels. And you want to go quotations, porn novels. And I think it's getting her expectation of men from those bad boys in the novels. Now again, I have told you all once, twice, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times. She will always want the bad boy. The bad boy who is smart is the perfect combination. That's actually what she's looking for. That's why they love the jail dude who is now converted over to being a book smart guy. Because they know the thug is still there, but they know now there's some intellect there. That's the perfect combination for them. And you want to attribute it to the novels. What you have to understand is you provided a life for her 27 years ago. She settled into that. And she was cool with that. But now that she's getting older, she's getting ready to be 50, she wants to give out. She wants to get out, live a little. She wants to be pushed against the wall. She wants to be kissed passionately. She wants to be dominated in the bedroom and manhandled in the bedroom. Not just basic, hold my hands, let's close the door, turn off the light, missionary position. This whole session has lasted 6 minutes and it's over. No, that's not what she fantasizes about anymore, my man. It's not going to cut it. And now that your kids are probably all grown, she can exercise her options now, which she is. And she's getting ready to stop negotiating and leave. She's going to hedge her bets, like I said. If the guy can satisfy her and give her everything close to what you gave her, or anything, if she can get 60% of what you gave her and be satisfied sexually, she's going to check out. She's out. You should be prepared for that. Now, she is not having an affair. She is just absent. To be absent from the body and the mind is not to be present, bruh. She absent. She may not be having a physical affair, which for me, I can tell you, woman is gone 5, 6, 7 years and y'all haven't had sex. Somebody did knock the cobwebs off periodically. Might not be an ongoing thing, but she slept with somebody else. Sorry to have to break that to you. Even when present, she is absent. I never see smiles or laughs, though if I watch, she will share those with everyone else because she doesn't have a good time with you. She loathes you. She's disgusted by you. And to be honest, she blames you for ruining her life and putting her in the position she's in now. And this is also when I tell you why you don't want a woman who wants to be a stay-at-home mom. Those aren't the dreams children have as a child, to just grow up, have babies, and sit around the house and cook and clean. They have things as individuals they want to accomplish. So anytime you hear a woman say, I want to be a stay-at-home mom, basically what she's saying is, I want somebody to give me a break for a couple of years while I figure it out. Then I want to get back out into the world. That's usually how they hook their fingers and their claws into a guy. The hustle happens, and then they double back and say, well, this ain't the life I want to live anymore. You should respect that and compromise. No, had you been honest, I would have never married you. But, again, They don't want to have that conversation either. But you see her smiling with everybody else, and you can't make her smile, she's checked out on you, my man. And there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. But you need to understand she stopped negotiating. And you should stop negotiating. At this point, you should be setting up an exit strategy to get out of there. But you're doing the complete opposite. You're fighting even harder to save it. Bro, ain't nobody standing next to you no more. She's gone. She's left. See, when you start seeing them read 50 Shades of Grey and all of that, that's your woman living out her sexual fantasies through those novels. There's only so long she's going to live it out through those novels before she does what? I want the real thing. See, those novels she's reading, those are hints to you to pick it up. You need to start finding sex toys. You need to start asking her, is it things you want to do in the bedroom that I don't do? See, you need to start having those conversations. Most men don't. Which is why she ends up with Tyrone or whatever. Because Tyrone just wants to handle what he needs to handle in the bedroom. Which is all she's really looking for. That's all the excitement at that point she wants. Now it becomes even more from that with Tyrone. Because once he gives her the excitement, she then wants a relationship with him. Because at some point in her head, she thinks I can have it all. She'll never realize having it all doesn't exist. There's always going to be some give and take. So that's when I say hedging your bets. Because once she sees Tyrone is no longer satisfying her, or he won't commit to her long term, then she'll double back and say, do I want penis and have to go to work? Or do I want to continue not having to work, being comfortable, and I can just find random penis along the way until his appetite is curbed? They're going to choose being comfortable with you and finding random penis until the appetite is curbed. So, then you say, sometimes I feel like being done, and other times I'm killing myself trying to break through her wall. I don't know. Bruh, it's over. She's done already. She's done. So it's done already. You ain't in control of this. See, both parties, to have a negotiation, both parties have to be negotiating. She's no longer negotiating. So this is over with. All you're doing now is an exercise in futility, man. You're beating your head against the wall. Now, you then come back and you say, you've been walking 3 times a week, racquetball once a week, line dancing 2 times a week. Limiting your diet to 1,300 calories or less a day with a cheat day once a week. You're going to kill yourself. Trying to make a woman happy who's no longer happy with you, period. See, you can get down to 160 chiseled. It's who you are as an individual that's the problem. It's not how you look. It's kind of like when guys can't understand why somebody would leave Halle Berry or some of these beautiful women that you guys see out here, and it's just, I would never leave her. After you've had it enough and you know who that person is as an individual, the attraction is gone. See, the physical attraction is now left. She knows who you are as a person, so no matter what you scope yourself into as an individual, because of who you are as a person, she wants nothing to do with that. She's out. Now, you say you go line dancing with her twice a week, and that's still not giving you anything. So what does that say? She's out. She doesn't work outside the home. I give her ample time and money to have fun when she chooses. Bro, she done bought Tyrone that PS5. And they having a good time with your money. You need to start figuring out an exit strategy. And you need to start understanding that it's time to check out. It's time to stop negotiating. It's time to start putting up boundaries. It's time to start making sure you're respected in your home until you guys can figure out how you're going to slice it up and dice it up. But yeah, you can stop negotiating. You can stop trying to do everything you're doing, because at this point, she left. So, at some point, you have to understand, brother, that even though she's 49 years old, you're 52 and you guys getting up there in age, somebody still finds her attractive. Somebody's giving her some attention and giving her some feelings that you aren't. And because she's been around you 27 years, she's read the book enough and over and over and over again. She knows how this is going to end. There's nothing you can do to change this. Now, you didn't go to say, before we finish this, about one of the last straws you had, which is her going out with your sister yesterday. Plans was to be home around 7 p.m. At 10 p.m. they got home. Your sister came and gave you a hug and said bye. And your wife went and got ready for bed. Not a single word. Not a kiss. Nothing. Then you say, this morning I asked her if she cared that she made me feel irrelevant and without value. After some time trying to justify it, she finally says, no, I don't think I do. So, at that point, she's telling you, you no longer matter. Now, again, that's more of some control freak type stuff, whereas plan was to be home around 7. I don't know why we giving people, unless you guys had a date you was going on, I don't know why you giving curfews out. But, hey, that's you, man. That's your household. You deal with it. But if she's not acknowledging that she made you feel irrelevant and without value, she no longer cares. And I'm going to be honest with you. You keep saying you want to feel valued. That's not her job to make you feel valued. Your problem is self-esteem, which is that, again, self-esteem. That's your job to make sure you feel okay about how you look, how you feel. You can't be looking outward to fix inward. In a relationship, you definitely have to understand a relationship is no more than two people coming together to further complement the other person's already established life. We shouldn't be having significant changes to the other person's life by combining it, with the partner we choose. My wife's life shouldn't drastically have to change because we combine in lives. Sure, are there going to be some minor adjustments here or there? Yeah, but it shouldn't be, well, before I met you, I was able to go out with my girls and do girls trips and have a good time, and we could stay for 3-4 days, or they come in town, I could hang out till 2-3 in the morning. Now I'm married, I need to be in by midnight. Nope. You was hanging out till 2-3 in the morning when I met you. Hang out till 2-3 in the morning now that we together. Let me know you safe and sound. Besides that, I'm going to bed. Ain't nothing else I can do about it. I'm not here to police another adult's body. It's not my job. In a harsh reality, you may not be one to accept at this point, which a lot of men are having a hard time accepting, which is what I'll talk about with the Robert Crimo thing in terms of the incel behavior, is a lot of these women, they never loved you to begin with. You provided a lifestyle for her. that she appreciated and she valued at that point. And she chose that lifestyle over love and being satisfied. Now, there was some satisfaction on one end because she was satisfied with what? I was being financially provided for. I didn't have to work. I didn't have a need. So that's how she was satisfied. But she also what? Had to give up some other things that you couldn't, other areas you couldn't satisfy her in. And she kept that quiet. Or she kept that on the back burner. Now those things are bubbling up to the top. And now those things are higher on her priority list than being satisfied financially. Monetarily, just that may not be as important to her, showing off and belonging to the Jills and the Johns and all of the popularity contests. And now what's more important to her, if it's her feeling confident with a man and sexually satisfied and all that, those are personality traits you may not possess. Well, it's not may, you don't possess. And since you don't possess that, you can't give that to her. Which is now where we're at. That's why we're in the situation we're in. Which in turn has her wanting to check out. Well, not wanting. She's checked out. You basically admitted it already. She says she's not attracted to you. She woke up this morning and told you what she told you in terms of you feeling irrelevant and her really not caring that you feel irrelevant and caring about your feelings. So you have to understand these aren't statements that are made from somebody who's in love with you or even really who loves you. See, I always tell people when we had a conversations and they say, I loved her, that's why I told her or him I cheated on him. Now, if you love somebody, you never want to purposely hurt someone's feelings. Now, if you have to come clean because you're pregnant by that guy, sure. If you got to come clean because he burned you STD-wise, sure. But you don't blow up home just for the sake of blowing up home, saying, I'm doing this out of love. No. You're doing that to unburden that guilt that you feel. And also to see how I'm going to react to it. None have anything to do with love. Now, of course, if the shoe was on the other foot, we as men know how we would be viewed writing a letter like this. If a woman was writing this saying you was acting a fool because she had put on 40, 50 pounds of weight, we would be called narcissistic, egotistical, pigs. Don't they understand a woman's body? But hey, man, life ain't fair. It's not. And with that being said, my man, I'm telling you this. Stop negotiating. Exercise your options. File those divorce papers. It's your boy, the Hood Nerd. I'm out.
You get to acting like a hot shot. Now your body bleeding from the hot shot. Oh, I ain't tryna be no up doc. No, oh, I ain't tryna be no up doc. My daddy left from Palestine to Houston in a coffin. Nah, he ain't dead, but mentally we probably lost him. I feel like Kendrick Perkins running 5-on-5 in Boston. Cause I've been running way too long, now I just feel exhausted. Cause I've seen 18 weeks at 18. I've carried so much weight like hot green. I've done things I can't believe. I just might break down and scream. Cause band-aids won't fix the wristlets. Carved up a 6'6". I was on the list, I grew up a misfit. All black lipstick, white face paint, tongue out like a kiss disc. My partner gave me 6 bricks and he told me flip this. Money bags with a mask on like Ipkiss. If he wanna run, I hit the blitz with the hit stick. The biscuit to turn a grown man to a pancake biscuit. You get to acting like a hot shot. Now your body bleeding from the hot shot. You shouldn't have to be my up, dog. You shouldn't have to be my up. Nobody the time my daddy left, I barely switched the size and diapers. He was searching for a source to get him higher. Higher learning, I'm focused. Barely make good decisions. I guess when you missing Papa, you tend to be lacking vision. I marvel how we avenge it. Split it with the opinions divided by our positions. Suspicious of our condition. Even though people killing it, lying to get commission. Cause you can live with somebody and never know their intention. These politicians be selling my people that science fiction. I'm guided by my conviction. They think it's a contradiction. I bleed on my composition. My flow is an epidemic. You might need a paramedic as soon as you try and listen. I'm giving you scrap, spitting at Richard Nixon. I'm blacker than expedition, driven by presidential security team defenses. I'm changing your supposition. Nah, wait, I'm correcting your corrective lenses, knocking doors down off the hinges. Forget the public interest. I don't follow trends, I invent them.
Knocking doors down off the hinges.